Hello everybody, welcome back to C&S Corvettes in beautiful sunny Sarasota, Florida. It's your Corvette buddy Lyle here to talk to you about more interesting, exciting, and hopefully helpful stuff. Today, we've got a whole bunch of C8 related news to cover, and we're going to get into it right now. In an effort to stay abreast of everything that's going on in the Corvette world, we often follow certain other websites. One of them is Corvette Blogger, and they have a lot of good up-to-the-minute information, a lot of it direct from sources within GM or sources adjacent to GM. And this week, they put out a bunch of news that I'd like to share with you. First of all, we're going to talk about a pretty good size amount of Corvettes that needed to go to a separate facility in Michigan before they could be sold to get fixed. So according to Corvette Blogger, some newly completed 2026 Corvettes were sent from Bowling Green to a Roush engineering facility in Michigan for an undisclosed quality control repair. The exact issue has not been officially confirmed, but the article says the chatter points toward the braking system, with mentions of brake lines, mismatched calipers, or calipers marked during plant tours. A dealer source told Corvette Blogger that up to 500 Corvettes may have been sent, but that number is unconfirmed. The key detail here is that Chevy reportedly said new Corvettes currently coming off the line are no longer affected, and most impacted cars have already had repairs completed and are being released for delivery. So this does not sound like a full-blown stop everything crisis, but more like a batch of cars that got caught in QC and were rerouted before delivery. We're also seeing for some potential buyers of 2027 Corvettes, some of the buying constraints that are being laid out by GM are particularly frustrating them, especially those who are wanting Grand Sport X's or ZR1X's or even ZR1s. To get into that a little bit, let me explain a little further. For the late May 2027 order cycle, no ZR1X or Grand Sport X allocations were offered. Grand Sport X pre-orders could be placed, but those were apparently just pre-orders, not actual allocations yet. The article says first Grand Sport X allocations were expected sometime in June, with production later in the third quarter. There were also normal Corvette constraint headaches. The standard Z51 wing was unavailable for Stingray Z51 orders. Coupe engine appearance packages were still constrained. The Grand Sport's base pearl nickel 10-spoke wheels had zero availability. ZR1 Coupe orders were limited to just 17 for that cycle. ZR1 J59 carbon ceramic brakes were also limited to 21 sets nationally. We all love our Corvette minutia, the tiny little bits of information that those of us in the hobby really get into. And one of those fun little things was that it appears, though it's unofficial, that GM has deleted a particular thing off all 2027 Corvettes. Corvette Blogger says that GM appears to have removed the locking fuel door from some 2026 C8s midway through the model year. Earlier C8s carried over the locking fuel door idea from C6 and C7, where locking the car also locked the fuel door. The article says early 2026 owner manual language still referenced the locking fuel door, but newer manual language removed those references. One 2026 E-Ray owner reportedly had a dealer inspect the car, and the dealer found it was not equipped with the electronic fuel door filler lock actuator system at all. Corvette Blogger also notes that some March-built cars appear to no longer have the locking fuel door, though the exact changeover point is not confirmed. Now, over on the racing side of things, we have some big Corvette racing activity coming up here in the next month, especially at Le Mans in France. Chevy says 4 Corvette Z06 GT3.Rs are entered into the 2026 24 Hours of Le Mans, competing in a 25-car LMG T3 field. That matters because the C8 Z06 GT3R keeps the Corvette visible globally against Ferrari, Porsche, Aston Martin, McLaren, and other GT3 rivals. Pikes Peak is another strong C8 marketing moment. The official 2026 Pikes Peak competitor list shows Amelia Hartford, YouTube famous celebrity, entered in Time Attack 1 with a 2026 Corvette, and J.R. Hildebrand entered in Time Attack 1 with a 2026 Corvette ZR1X. And finally, guys, some maybe disappointing news, but the facts are the facts. For the first quarter of 2026, Corvette sales were again down. I'm sure the economy has something to do with that, and I'm sure the absolute availability of used C8s everywhere is affecting that. But they are down. Let me get into the details for you. So GM reports 6,235 U.S. Corvette deliveries in quarter one of 2026, compared with $6,794 in Q1 of 2025, which is an 8.2% decline year over year. The article also noted that the numbers were U.S. sales only, yet the market was coming off of a rough winter period. At the same time, GM Authority reported that for May 2026, there were no national Corvette discount offers, no special financing, and no lease incentives. That does not mean every dealer is selling its sticker, but it does mean Chevy was not pushing a broad national incentive on the Corvette line that month. I know I sound like a broken record. We're still trying to hit 100,000 subscribers this year. We're only about 6,000 subscribers away, so anything you can do to help us by talking us up to your friends or hitting like and subscribe yourself would be extremely helpful. We very much appreciate it, and thank you. So as you can tell, Corvettes they're still popular enough that GM isn't marking them down from the top of the castle on down, but there are dealers with inventories who could probably get you a pretty good deal on things they already have on the ground if you are in the market for a 2026 Corvette. I hope you found this stuff helpful. We are always trying to stay on top of the C8 news for you and share you everything we find. Hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. We'll see you next week.